Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gawel Solosky from Bengal University. I have great pleasure to introduce my topic of presentation called dark fermentation. Dark fermentation is a special case of anaerobic digestion where the process of microbial conversion to biofuels stop in producing acids and hydrogen. These acids are short acids, can be used in cosmetics, for example, and hydrogen can be used for synthesis of biofuels, and in case of research of dark fermentation is the case. The bacteria are considered to stop to produce only hydrogen without undergoing the next process of anaerobic digestion, which is called methane production. Usually, after stressing of this bacteria by heat, by freezing, by acid, by base and by air. Also is special by autoclaving. This case, this bacteria, usually by Clostridium as strictly bacteria, some more hydrogen, however, thought to consider to be more fragile to compound, therefore are protected by more resistant but less productive facultative bacteria from as enterobacteria, citrobacteria, but also there is special case because these bacteria are mesophilic of thermobacteria, which are thermophilic, so better filling in 55 and 60 degrees, but high temperature required causes that mesophilic are more preferable. There are also some psychophilic bacteria which feels better in 20 to 30 degrees, which are good for potential production of hydrogen in some part of high mountainous region, but are not so efficient. Dark fermentation also requires special material. So, special material production, preparation, usually. Of course, there can be used simple organic matter, which is the model material like glucose or fructose, glycerol, and after these are most because these bacteria are considered to be produced or usually only from sugar. So the case of pretreatment of feed, which are organic wastes, which that are usually polycarbohydrates or polyglycerol or other food or biomaterial waste. So first used natural products, and then after processing and industry life coming to us waste and needed to utilize. First treatment is usually mechanical, which allows this battery feed to comes only to be only polycarbohydrates or polyglycerol. Then it needs to be hydrolyzed in different cases, different possibilities as pretreatment and mechanical, catalytic, acidic, basic, which is the aim is to produce best feed potential to the bacteria to efficiency. However, by now we usually use this hydrogen production as in other industrial cases as addition to methane production, because addition of hydrogen is very helpful for methane production, which still is much more we know how to produce industrially way. We use dark fermentation method usually in the place when we have waste highly containing highly sugar. They usually heat as a stress, heat shock, because it seems after very much mostly easiest and quite efficient way. However, this method, we don't know how to reflect conditions that occurs in natural case of dark fermentation that are causing in case of teeth decay usually. For example, on gangrene. In teeth where we don't pretreated bacteria on their own, but if you don't clean your teeth carefully and you allow to some rest of especially sugar food, sugar containing meal to stay in your layer of your teeth, one time will come some bacteria, because nothing in nature is wasted. Nature will use this undigested material that stays in your teeth. Therefore, bacteria is, as you know, produced beside eating this produce some acid. This acid shows, see, it causes destroying of your teeth, and then when in this destroyer layer comes bacteria also growing into your teeth, it can result to collapse your teeth due to this hydrogen production. This production is so high, and that's why it happens naturally. In case of gangrene, because if comes this bacteria to your or as Clostridium perfringensis, showing that Clostridium are not so fragile as we thought, but we still cannot use in laboratory such methods that keep so hydrogen like in case of gangrene. Because gangrene, bacteria Clostridium, if you come to your wound, they will is also eating and stealing this flesh of you, which shows that not only sugar is but protein that also I checked. As I mentioned, gelatin, I get very proteins. But coming to back, this shows so much hydrogen that when you touch the body infected by Clostridium perfringensis, you feel some noises. These noises are result of hydrogen. You can listen to similar noise if you, for example, put some hydrogen to carbon calcium carbonate. For example, marble. If you put some acid on marble, you will listen such noise which is result of the hydrogen. In case of body, when you touch, in fact, you also will listen such noises as result hydrogen. The hydrogen production is so big that body infected after death can explode it even, as it comes in case of body of Henry VIII, the king of the England, in 16th century, 1546 it was. But we cannot use. We use usually heat. So we put this bacteria into some empty space, empty vessel, autoclave or pot or something there, and boil this bacteria to 100 Celsius degree or 150 for some time. One people use 1 hour. It's very different in different cases, but then these bacteria are closing in such case into storage. We also use some acid or airing, which showing also causing this storage closing. But heat we can use by heat is very simple method because we can easily control. We put into some oven, some autoclave into certain temperature, so are very easily checked and controllable, and that's show how I making. Also acid, but case of sulfuric acid is that in case of metal reactors, it should be anti-corrosive material. This is very troublesome because it makes the steel costs. Of course, we can use, for example, glass reactors, but glass reactors are easily heat releases and not very good isolators. There are a lot of in batch processes okay, but for much longer, the losses of heat are quite big. They also, if we have glass but by, for example, water bath, many reactors, they're occurring some death hot spots, which showing that the region is not heated in monotonously in all places. Therefore, the better is using metal reactors. However, metal reactors are causing that not easily to look on the layer, bacterial layer. So this is the trouble of design. we have to be careful also with the overfeeding, because overfeeding is also causing that bacteria are removing to Schwarz, because all hydrogen production is high as far as don't remove completely from storage. So the bacteria needs to be kept in semi-storage level, then and only then hydrogen production is high. This makes trouble. We still, other problem is that growth of bacteria is very specific hydrogen production. Methane production, which is using all bacteria remains, not some part, is easier because much higher compounds, and it isn't a case of side effect, because hydrogen production is side effect of digestion of feed. These bacteria are using two periodic cycles, and as a result we have hydrogen production. And this circular causing that the best model is to use trigonometric functions, because it is the integrate result of methane. Because we have several successful models for methane production, but very few, no model for hydrogen production, successful model. Because this is a derivative, and this is the integrate of methane. So this is the trouble, that how to make this integration properly. And it seems that trigonometric function, arcus cosinus, is the best, but maybe is something better. There are very much field to compare and much to make. So this is the most serious case, proper production, growth, stable growth, and stable hydrogen production to make more industrial applicable. But it is worth, because we need to replace conventional method, because our conventional method are depleted, and we need to do something with our wastes. So this is the good solution, but still much work to do. Thank you very much.